So, trigger warning. I'm talking about the death of a loved one. And the reason why this is an important video for me is because I feel that the subject matter may be something that, when shared, although potentially challenging, may help other people's journey in respect to attachment to things, to clothes, in respect to attachment to the psychological or physical nature of our existence and of the expression of that within bereavement. And yeah, so my mum passed away 2 years ago. I'm an only child. It was just me and my mum. She always used to say, as long as we've got each other. And that, along with two other things she left me with, became even more apparent when she was no longer here physically. And I think a big part of my challenge was the disconnect between what was and what is. And it creates a dissonance, disruption that is very hard to transcend, to alchemize. But as I say, I think we're all expressions of consciousness. We're all expressions of energy. And at the root, we are all connected. There's your body and my body, but there's not your awareness and my awareness. There is just awareness, which is part of the reason why I say that there's truth hidden in plain sight. I mean, I don't know about you, but I say I have a mind, I have a body, I have thoughts. I don't say I am a mind, I am a body, I am a thought. And I suppose that awareness is the I am. But when my mum passed, I felt as though, I felt immense bereavement, immense grief through bereavement, should I say. And my heart broke, to use a quote that one of my good friends gave me, and I apologise for not knowing the name of the author. A heart broken open to love was fitting, because in the absence of my mum physically, something that I had always felt or sensed or I was aware of was that my mum was not her body. I felt somewhat closer to my mum after the waves of grief and the disconnect and the fight between what is and what was, what should be, right? And I feel like quite often when we've got that conflict going on between what is and what should be, it stops us connecting with the beauty of things as they are. An immense complexity, but the beauty of things just as they are. And so once that came down, once that conflict calmed a little, I was able to get even closer to this feeling of closeness with my mum. And in fact, when I was clearing out her things from storage, I needed help. And I asked my mum, what should I do? And this is when I knew we could hear without ears and see without eyes for sure. I had experienced similar things in the past with meditation breath work and other tools, but her answer very clearly twice was, "Let me go." And that was her guidance, I believe, for her and for me. We're all unified. What benefits me benefits you. What benefits you benefits us, right? And that's part of the reason why I'm sharing this video, because I do believe, I feel, I have experienced aspects of what I know is unified consciousness, and it's not a mistake that it feels good to do or to serve other people. And I only hope that in some way sharing what I'm about to share may benefit somebody, anyone, in some way, somewhere, to feel that connectedness and to perhaps escape some challenges in regards to attachment and specifically around things. So after clearing out this storage locker, about a year after, I made a trip to Loch Lomond, where my grandparents and my mother's ashes are. And so it's a special place, it's a calming place. While there, or before I went actually, I decided to take something that I had been holding on to, I had been clinging to, and that was a night dress of my mum's. The night dress, it smelt a lot like my mum, and I feel like this was another psychological and emotional holding on, a clinging to what was perhaps. And as I've suggested, once acceptance can come, that clinging is released, a new dimension is opened, and that's what I'm excited and slightly tense about sharing, I suppose. But this night dress, and as we know, anyone who's experienced bereavement will know that it can be very tempting to hold on to as much as possible, and in fact it can intellectually sometimes feel as though we're doing something wrong to release, but that's what we are designed to do if we can allow that to happen. And so just the smell of it was something that I think I was clinging to. Anyway, as a result of what had happened at the locker, I took it with me, and I didn't know if I would be taking it, if I would be bringing it back. And here I am, sat on the banks of Loch Lomond, and in a very special place. I had a campfire, and I'm sitting there holding my mum's nightdress. And again, I asked, what should I do? And as the water went out and rolled back in again, I heard my mum's voice, but this time it was different. I could tell it was a memory. It was a memory of my mum's voice in that storage locker, which wasn't a memory, that was my mum's voice. And again, let me go. So this is when I can only describe as something special happened, because I can't put the experience into words. However, I looked into the fire and I smelt that night dress one more time, and I threw it in. the moment that night dress hit that fire and began to burn, all the reasons that I had been holding on to that night dress, the experience of the closeness, I had needed and wanted so badly, was realised. Let me say that again. By releasing the illusory, the thing that was not my mother and was never my mother, but intellectually and I felt emotionally I had to hold on to, by releasing that, I experienced the reality of things. I experienced that feeling of closeness because the illusion has been burned. And I feel like this is so important to our lives in general, as to we hold on to so much and we carry it, and these things, they weigh on us in ways that perhaps we're not completely aware of. The photographs, the stuff, they have an energetic price. And as I suggested earlier on, we are not these bodies, we are not these things, we are not the stuff. We are that awareness of those things. These things are within our awareness. And so when that night dress burned, I realised categorically, 110%, that wasn't my mum, and I felt a closeness to her that I had never felt as deeply as in that moment. So I'd like to just leave you with one reflection, and that is, what in your life, what in our lives might we be holding on to that's stopping us from the real experience? What are we holding on to that once released might provide us with the very thing we were yearning for the whole time by holding on to it? Yeah, so if this has helped anyone in any way, and perhaps there may be an intellectual or emotional barrier to what I'm saying, but please feel what I'm saying. Don't think too much about it, because that feeling of underlying connectivity, that's us, that's the real. The mind stuff, the conflict, the form is what we stand to release in order for the truth to arise. So with love and high vibrations, I genuinely hope this serves at least